Hello, my squishies. It's 6 o'clock. It's Friday, so I think it's felt a long time. As usual, I will give everyone a couple of minutes just to get in because we do these live and then they stay up afterwards. My live chat is looking very odd. Something just went weird. So hopefully I'll see some chats coming soon. Let me know if you can hear me. Or I might have to close and start again. Where did my chat disappear to? Hopefully somebody say something in the chat. See if I can see it. Otherwise, I'll be talking to myself for the whole night. I'll have to... We can always edit this in post. Do not worry. Oh, hey! I can see you now. Oh my god, I was like, it's just gonna be me talking to myself. Hello, everybody. Right, now we can officially start. Welcome to the Felt Along. So, as I said, we record these live and they stay up so that you can felt along after the fact as well. So, if you want to see who I'm chatting to, down below you'll see live chat replay. So, you can see all the questions, all the nonsense that's going on in the chat, because I will warn you now, there are not a lot of nonsense is spoken for the next hour. So, feel free to fast forward, to rewind, to mute me. If I'm talking too much nonsense, please do mute me. I know mum and dad sometimes mute me. But yeah, welcome to felting. So tonight we are felting this little guy here, little Highland cow. He is so adorable and just sits, and you're overhead so you can't quite see it, but he just sits so cutely and has not got a name yet, so we need to name him at some point this evening. Hey, Ruth. So he's going to sit there, or well, let's see if we can get him to stand back up again. He's going to sit there and keep an eye on us for the evening. So, for those of you who haven't felted before, in your kit you'll have a foam mat. This is what's going to protect your surfaces and make felting easier. So we're going to felt onto this mat. Do not try, as I have done before, and just trying to felt on your leg or whatever. Painful, don't do. Felt onto the mat. And tonight, because we're 3D felting, you are more likely to stab your fingers. So try as hard as you can to focus on what you're doing and don't stab your fingers. I'm probably going to stab myself tonight. I'm going to try very hard to keep it PG and try not to bleed everywhere. I was doing a felting workshop yesterday for a lovely tour group, and there was a little bit of blood, including my own, even though I wasn't felting. Don't know how this happened. Anyway, so in your kit you've got your foam mat, you've got your needles. Now these are sharp, stabby needles. They've got a sharp pointed one end and then a hook on the other end, so you're using the sharp pointy end to felt. There's little barbs that just help the felting happen. You can hold 1, 2, up to 3 at a time to help to felt slightly faster. We've also got our tops or roving. This has come off the sheep. It's been washed, in some cases dyed, and then brushed to form this rope. Well, it's a loosely held together rope. There's a few tricks to working with this. You want to have your hands nice and far apart and just pull gently, and you'll see this little bit comes out. So this is the staple length, or the length of the fibre that was on the sheep. If you were to have your hands too close together, you're going to be pulling against the same hair. But if you have your hands nice and far apart, you can gently pull. And also, if there's any twist in this, twist is what makes yarn. It's not going to come apart either because it's held together by the twist. So hands nice and far apart and just gently pull. And that is how we work with that. So what else? What have I forgotten? Nothing. Shall we get felting? I think we should get felting. Okay, so we're going to make the core. So these two lumps will eventually become that. So we've got a little small round circle, and now I'm going to call this a Tunnocks tea cake. But if you're not from Scotland, you might not know what a Tunnocks tea cake is, or what shape a Tunnocks tea cake is. So it's got a flat base, and then it goes like a rounded dome top. So it's like, it would be a full circle, but you've chopped off maybe a quarter of it. So you've got our Tunnocks tea cake. So this is what we're going to start by making, and then we're going to add in all the colours. So in your pack, you'll have your brown, and it might be in a long rope like this. Da, da, da. Imagine that's a rope. Hi, Sylvia. But so we want to separate it for the head and the body. So I've split it into 3 roughly equal sections. I'm taking 1 for the head and 2 are going to be for the body. Is the easiest way to sort of work it out. Oh no, you were on the wrong channel. That's all. Yeah, that happens to me too. So to start with for the head, I want to make sure that it's all nice and loose. It's not condensed. And I'm going to take a small amount, kind of scrumple it up, form a body, form a ball even, and then being careful not to stab my fingers, I'm going to just stab through, moving this around and kind of pushing in. You see how I'm kind of whoop, whoop. That's a technical term. Pushing in to start the ball felting. And just working around so it's a nice even circle. Sphere. A nice even sphere. There we go. There's proper words. And once I've done a little bit of that, I'm going to take a little bit more. Wrap it round. And this time I'm going to do it a little bit tight. So it's kind of squishing it a little bit. This just kind of speeds up the felting process a wee bit by squishing it. And again, just whoop, 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 whoop. So while I build up the head, now I'm not going to fully felt this because I have a pre-prepared one. Here's one I prepared earlier, but I'm going to just get it all together for you so you see what I'm doing. Again, I put a little bit on. I'm going to add a little bit more. Squish it up. So normally the shop dog Peanut joins me for these felting, but she is away on a walk with one of my friends. But she did join us yesterday. So yesterday, this is story time while I'm stabbing. So yesterday I had my lovely American tour group come to do a felting workshop, and I take over the top story of the bookshop next door, which is absolutely wonderful. So we're felting quite happily. Peanut is running around like a maniac. She's found a pine cone somewhere in the bookshop, don't ask, and is living her best life. But then she starts to get a little bit bored. And Peanut's wonderful. She's in the shop every day. She doesn't run away. But she decided to go for an inspection of the bookshop. And she goes down 2 flights of stairs, down to the front counter. Guess what's kept behind the front counter normally, and where she normally goes every day for her, on her way into work, is the dog biscuits. And so she's down trying to make either a break for freedom out the front door to see what's going on, or I suspect more likely she's just wanting some biscuits off the lovely ladies at work who are working the desk. So shout out to the wonderful Sally, hi Sally, who listens to these. Also, hi Tim, who just as I'm taking the workshop, wanders casually up the stairs with Peanut in air jail, getting brought back up the stairs. But they all managed to do a wonderful felting. End of story. Anyway, so I've started, and I've got reasonably ball shaped. But so these are the same weight, but can you see the difference in size? This one is a lot smaller and it's a lot firmer. Yeah, feeding and rescuing Peanut. So yeah, this one's firmer. So if I was doing this not live, I would spend another 5 or so minutes, which I still might, with 10 past maybe not, 5 or so minutes felting that down until it feels a bit like so. What kind of fruit are we going to call this? Not quite as firm as an orange, a little bit, it's a little bit softer than an orange, whereas this feels like almost cotton wool kind of squishiness. So we're going for a slightly overripe orange feel is what we're going to aim for with that. So I'll put them aside and we'll work on our Tunnocks tea cake. So we're going to take the rest of the brown and we're going to do this. It's not as hard as a grape. I'd say grapes are a little bit harder. The technical squishing of fruit is a thing. So with the rest of this, I am going to start by making just a round, so I'm not going to worry too much about shaping it at the beginning. Again, just pulling it up and pulling it round. And then grabbing some and putting it over. Oh, so now is the point. We've done mildly interesting story time. It's shout out time. So I see Sylvia in the chat, who also has her own YouTube channel. If you pop a link in the chat to your channel, she does felting and sewing, and I pop her on when I'm in work and she just chats away. It's wonderful. And I haven't seen her in the chat yet, but we're going to give a shout out to Robin. And she is a Feltaholic on YouTube. You can get arrested for technically squishing fruit. Now I'm scared. Yeah, Robin is she's a chief nonsense maker as well. She's Feltaholic on YouTube. Sylvia, if you could put a link to her in the chat as well, that'd be amazing. Because she has also done a Highland cow. So you've got to go and watch hers and compare and contrast. I would say Feltaholic probably is going to win on the tutorial. Her tutorials are wonderful. And she's done one of her Highland cows is blue and it's amazing. And she doesn't ramble nonsense. She's very professional. So I highly recommend you pop over. Thank you, Sylvia. But yeah. And while I'm doing that, if you could, I'm so bad at this bit. Do the likey and subscribey thing, that would be wonderful. And even if you're after the fact, leave a comment. Give me ideas for names. Important point just now. So every so often, especially with this one, I am kind of rubbing it in my hands. And that is naturally forming this slightly wider than tall shape, which is what we're looking for just now. It also helps to speed up the felting process. Oh yeah, Sylvia's doing this amazing felting picture of a photograph. Was it your grandson took? It is wonderful. I cannot wait to see it finished. Okay, we're building up nicely. So now we're starting to be at a stage where I want to start shaping. So I'm going to start putting it round the outside to build up a kind of wall almost. Like an edge wall. It don't necessarily always make sense when I'm doing this. And I think yesterday in the live in-person felting, Oh, your grandson painted it. Yes, it's amazing. I made up so many words. It was a thing. Oh, I'm getting squinty and everything's wandering off camera. And while I'm still just adding this to the body. It is Friday at 6 o'clock, so therefore it is dinner time. So what is everybody eating? I'm gonna guess mum and dad in the comments. Fish and chips and apple crumble. But what's everybody else got for dinner? I don't even know what I've got for when I finish this. I've not planned that far ahead. So my Tusk tea cake is coming together nicely. Also, Sylvia, I have to ask, like, any fruit squishing, or is it a specific fruit I'm not allowed to squish? Oh, fish fingers, Mum. Oh my, oh my. Jacket potatoes, I maintain, are my favourite food and the best food in the world. Because you can put anything on them. They're a vector for other foods. Now you can see this has got a nice flat base. Maybe you can't because it's so dark. A nice flat base and a rounded-ish top. Robin, we've been talking about you already. I don't know if you're catching up, or if you've gone live, caught up to lifetime. These are words. She might be catching up, not in real time. So somebody in the chat, tell her that we're talking about her. Oh no, she's live. Yeah, we've been talking about you. But the first and most important question is, what are you having for dinner? Okay. So we're getting to a nice shape, but you can see again the difference in size between the one I made earlier and the one that we've got just now. So we're going to try and get this down to that size. And this again is only nice things, I promise. So we're going to felt this a little bit, but this is again maybe a little softer than orange. What's between grape and orange in the softness scale? Okay, but I don't want to spend too long on this on the live stream, because you guys that are doing it after the fact can pause the video and get your, what are we calling these? Get your tea cake and your grape down to the right size. And then once you're down, unpause. The inside. Yeah, a squishy banana. Yeah, so pause the video now if you are doing this after the fact. Stab these until they feel reasonably firm, not too firm, like a soft orange. And unpause when you're ready. Welcome back. Through the magic of television, here's two I prepared earlier. Now it's time to start doing I have so many questions, Robin. We're going to get to them in a second. But first I'm going to start what we're doing. So to make the hair colour, this isn't just one colour. It's lots of different colours all in together. And we're going to create our own mix. So you can have your colour, any colour you like, any mix of the two, or if you have other colours at home, you can also use them. As I was saying earlier, in Robin's Highland Cow video, which I told everybody to go and watch, she did blue ones, she did the yellow ones, so you can do any colour you like. But I'm going to do a traditional Highland Cow, traditional, in inverted commas, Highland Cow. So Highland Cows come in any range of colours, from almost white right up until black, and any range in between. They are predominantly orange because apparently Queen Victoria in the Victorian era really liked the orange cows. So she selectively bred them to be orange, but you can have any colour at all. But I'm going to go for an orangey brown. Now to make our colour, I'm going to grab a little bit of the first colour, spread it out a little bit, just loosen it off. I'm going to grab a little bit of the white and lay it on top. A little bit of the brown. And then what we're going to do is, you can see I've made a little sandwich. This is my dinner. I'm going to eat this. What we're going to do is I'm going to grab and separate. And you're just letting the fibres, so you're only holding really loosely, and you're kind of splitting it. If you can see, my sandwich is now becoming more of a chopped salad. And it's evenly dispersing, or randomly dispersing the fibres. You can see those little sections where you'll get like a solid bit of colour. If that's too much, you can just hand split it apart. But the more you do this, the more that it will evenly disperse the colours all over. If you have a carder, like a drum carder or carding brushes, you can also use them. This is just my cheap and dirty way to to hand blend when I'm only doing a little bit and I'm not going to be doing a lot. I just do it like this. And I also accept that the cow will naturally have variations in colour. I do use carding brushes. I also have a drum carder that is currently looking at me from the other side of the room going, "Why are you not using me?" I'm a terrible hand carder. I got taught by an amazing spinner at the Highland Spinners and Weavers Guild. But I think by the end of the lesson she'd given up on me and was just like, "Just use your drum carder, it's fine." I'm like, I'll just use my drum carder. Yeah, when these colours are blended together, it gives a really nice Highland cow colour. I think I want a little bit more orange. So again, I've got my little sandwich. That might be a little bit too much, but we're just going to go with it. Yes! So, Sylvia, I know. I don't sell carders in the shop for that very reason. Because every time someone comes in and they're like, "Oh, I want to get hand carders," I'm like, "So, pets at home, go and get yourself some dog brushes." In fact, I should have brought my Peanuts brushes in and used them today. Because you can get essentially what is carding brushes for a couple of quid at Pets at Home. Okay, so to go back to Robin's previous point, how did you get stuck between a bed and a wall? I mean, I have to admit, I've done it myself. But what were you doing? Ooh! Hello, Robin's friend. If you're in the comments, say hello. Okay, So we've got 2 bits. So they're not exactly the same. This one's got more brown, this one's got less brown. So what I can do is blend, I know this is going to be a lot, but you can blend these together. And that just evenly distributes it. And yes, there's wee streaks. If that bothers you, pull them out and move them. But I'm not too worried. I want there to be streaks and colour because the Highland cows are not going to naturally be perfect. So I think I've got enough for this wee guy to cover it. If not, I'll just make some more. No problem at all. So, right, which is my finished one? This one. So we're going to attach its hair now, and it is kind of adorable and weird when you start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little section. This is again the length of the fibre. I'm going to find the middle. I'm going to place the middle on the top, and just where that middle is, I'm going to stab it in just along that line. So this is pushing the fibres in, and you can see that it, as I've been stabbing in that centre, these fibres have been lifting up because the centre is getting pushed in. And what you're going to do is then just fold it over and secure at the bottom with a couple of wee stabs. And we're going to do that all the way around. Again, there's a wee bit extra. There we go. That's too much. So again, I'm going to find the middle, pop the middle at the top, stab down that middle. Now you don't have to be precise, as you can see. I am not being precise. I'm not even being precise about where the top middle is. It does not matter. But I'm securing that in nicely. So if you give it a wee tug, you'll feel it's in there, and then folding it down. And we are going for the beautiful centre part. Look at that highlight. The beautiful centre parting. Secure his bottom a little bit. And then doing the same again. Grabbing a little bit of this. And there. Stab, 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 stab. Folding over and securing just with a few stabs around the bottom. I'm going to keep doing this. Oh no, I have imagery. Just pinned against the wall. And again, folding over and going round. And if anybody, not only do you get Highland Cow tutorial, this is also your Christmas or Halloween pumpkin tutorial. How to felt your own Halloween pumpkin. Just put a wee green leaf in the centre. I might actually do that for the shop. Am I going to do that for the shop? So I'm building up lots of layers because we don't want to see any of the brown underneath. I might even, so I'm leaving that one to go both sides. And now I'm going to do this little front bit. Ooh, the ghosties are out. Yeah, it's starting to get dark actually. Either that or some plastic bags just fell over in the shop. And more are about to go as well. Okay. We have two little Highland cow bodies. Now don't worry if it's not quite... I'm just going to start moving. That's even more is falling. Normally I can blame any weird noises on Peanut, but she's not here, so... There we go. I'm happy with that. No, I'm not. I've got a little bald spot there. Yes. Yep. Yeah, because my light's been working. Well, okay, touch wood. Find some wood. My light's been working the whole stream recently. I have no idea what has changed. I did absolutely nothing different. But yeah, we have a working light. They're now just playing with plastic bags, which they are more than welcome to do. Well, I feel like I need to justify myself. I am going to justify myself. The plastic bags, I do not buy in. Some of the wool comes in them, so I'm very careful when we're putting the wool away that we save all the plastic bags and then we reuse them. We either give them to customers, well, in fact we do just give them to customers whenever they ask for a bag and it's raining outside because Fort William. Look, imagine if that was green. That is definitely a pumpkin. Anyway, right, that's enough of that nonsense. We're halfway through and I haven't even started on the head, and the head's what takes all the time. So let's put you down. We're gonna first of all cover up the head with, I'm gonna do just the base of this orange because I want the head to be a nice light. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can let little bits show through. Am I still in frame? Yes, I am. More. The bags are slowly slithering over each other. We did have a big delivery today, and the shop is looking remarkably full. So I may have piled the bags up inappropriately. Okay, I'm really afraid now. I just had a thought, oh, I haven't stabbed myself yet, which means I'm about to stab myself. So everyone keep your eyes peeled. Fill in these little gaps. There. And again, if you're doing this after the fact with me, the body I leave these bits all nice and loose and long. I don't felt them in very much because it looks kind of cool, but I would for the face just now spend a little bit extra time making sure this orange outer layer is reasonably neat, because it'll make the features stand out a little bit better. So mine's probably not going to look the neatest. Because I'd maybe spend another 5 minutes just going all over and making him orange. Oh, we haven't named it yet. What are the naming suggestions? Also, I had a wonderful comment from a new viewer that they put me on and they fell asleep to my video, and that makes me very happy. Oh, it is Friday the 13th. I didn't even know. There we go. Cause the bags to fall. No, I think in my family, correct me if I'm wrong, Mum, the 13th are lucky numbers. Because Grandma was born on a 13th. Okay, so we've got our nice round face. Oh, can we call the cow Jinx? That's kind of cute. Okay, so now I obviously carefully saved some black to make the eyes. In fact, it's so little. There we go. So I'm going to take the tiniest bit of black and pop it in there. If you do not have if you haven't saved any black, because I didn't tell you to, undo your base a little bit like this. Just pull it out and then just grab out a little bit and that'll be enough. And then close it off again. There you go, I saved it. Now this is going to look, yeah, lucky if she doesn't stab herself. Jinx if I do stab myself. This is going to look odd, so do not be afraid. So we're going to do 2 circle eyes and have them kind of far apart because the eyes of cows tend to be more on the side of their head. That's gone a wee bit. So we're doing, I don't know if any of you guys, I know you guys that are listening now have watched because you're all wonderful, but in 2 weeks ago, two episodes ago, we did a little jellyfish. So we're going to do the same eyes as the jellyfish. So we've got 2 black dots that are half a quarter of a nail size. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the cream. So when I say a little bit, can you see how tiny that bit is? I'm going to fold it in half and in half again. And I'm outlining the out from the center top of the eye round the outside to the center bottom. And any extra I'm just folding back up and going back up the way. Any extra folding back up and going down the way. With eye number 1. So you're going round the outside and you want to keep the eye looking fairly round. You don't want to cover up any of the black. So that's eye number 1, and we need to do the same for the other side. It's just like a tiny jellyfish. Ooh, you're doing okay, I want to go see your pumpkins. I can't look because I'm working. I'll look as soon as I'm finished. Again, we're going to do the same with this one, round the outside. Round to the bottom. Back up. You can tell this is the concentrated bit because I'm being quiet. And then just secure that in. And then we have 2 little matching eyes. And we need to pop in a nose. So with the nose again, we're taking the white. How are we looking? So yes, Sylvia, I'm going to do kits. I haven't put them on the website yet, but they are going to be unframed kits of the Kiltrock waterfall. So I've taken a tiny bit of the cream and I'm just, a little bit lower. So in line with the bottom of the eyes, we're going to pop the nose. But, oh, now I will say, this is what I'm doing. But if you want your nose to be in a different place, if you want your eyes to look different, you can. There is no right and wrong. I also want the nose to be not a total circle. We're aiming for it to be oval. Let's have a look. That's reasonably oval. There we go, that's better. So it's flatter on the top and bottom, and then round the sides. This eye is escaping. Go back in. And then I'm going to take a tiny bit of black. Ooh! Tiny bit of black to make two little nostrils, which are just little lines. So the tiniest. One on one side. I know this is absolutely tiny. I'm kind of aiming to get them at that kind of angle. Hello. Wait, how do you say your name? Penguin pullover. Penguin? Why do I want to say penguin? Hello, penguin pullover. We are not doing a squirrel, but we could. Oh, with their big fluffy tails. Yes, that would be adorable. No, we're doing a Highland cow pumpkin. Oh, her name is Pumpkin. Yep, that's it. It's official. Sorry. Pumpkin the Highland cow. I've got her two little, I don't know if you can see it there, just two little lines for her nose. And then what else have I forgotten? We've got ears to go and we've got horns. So let's do ears first. Let's do ears first. So again, with some of this, if you haven't got any left, just make some more. I'm going to evenly grab two lumps, or roughly evenly grab two lumps, and then make an ear shape. Easy. You say easy, it's not easy. No, it is easy. We'll be fine. It's just a little bit. Oh yeah, that's where I got the leftover black from. I just pulled it up off the mat when I was cleaning the mat at one point. See, nothing is wasted in felting. So with the ears, I'm going to take a little bit of it. In fact, I only need that much. No, take the full bit. I'm going to fold it in half. So I've got a folded edge and a loose floppy edge. We're working on the folded edge and we're leaving the loose floppy edge loose and floppy. So I'm going to stab. The aim is to have a flat top, a slight curve down, and then it going up like this. And it will shrink. I'm going to do one side and then squidge it and flop it over. And don't worry if it's got no shape just now. We can make the shape later or in a minute. And also the ears are all different shapes anyway. Yeah, there's always need for tiny wispy bits. And there's no point in throwing anything out. So I have, would you like to know my system? This is probably quite embarrassing. So there's a system in the shop. So when the wool comes in, it's in kilogram bumps. No, they're not really bumps. Bumps will be bigger. Bumps is like when they're 10 kilogram bumps. So they come in kilogram lengths. And then I split them into 100 grams. And there's normally 9 times 100 grams, and then the last ones, because I always make sure there's slightly more than 100 grams in each one. So the last one is left. It's just less than 100 grams, so I can't sell it as a 100 gram plat. Goes up on the wall and then gets put into the kits. And then anything that is too small to go up onto the wall goes into my back office and gets put, it's got little document files, and it gets put in its color document file, and I use them here for when I'm designing and playing around. So they're all separated by color. And then if like after tonight's class there's going to be a lot of mixed stuff, there's another box specifically just for mixed ones, or ones that are too small to easily separate. So I've got my nice little flat ear, and you can see when you stab on one side it pushes it through to the other side, so that I'm keeping rotating. And then when I'm happy with the like final size of it, you can kind of, sometimes I like to do little tiny angled ones if there's any major ones sticking out, that just kind of tidy them up. But you can also just use your hand and kind of hand felt it. So we've got, I think, our first ear. We're going to put it up against, look how cute! But we need to make a tiny little inner ear. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of the cream again. Anyway, that was the story of my felting sorted. Aim just now not to go right the way through, because it'll push the white through to the back. So I'm just doing a little bit of inner ear with sort of slightly sideways pokes. And with this extra bit here, I'm gonna cheat. Nobody saw. It didn't happen. There we go. So we've got one ear, and I'm going to do the second ear. I lost my evenly spaced bit. Let's say it was that one. Hopefully it was that one. Again, we're going to do the same again. So I'm going to fold it in half. We've got our curved end and our wispy end. We're working on the curved end and making it into an ear shape. What are we, how are we doing for time? Oh, we've got 10 minutes. I think we can make it. If we run over, the only peanut will arrive back and demand attention. Also, Penguin Pullover, are you felting along with us? Are you watching for the fun nonsense? Have you felted before? We have all the questions. Or have I scared you away with my how I organise all my bits of fibre? I've probably scared you away. And I don't blame you. Oh no, my head fell off. Right, so we're going to aim to make them kind of similar in shape, and do that just by pushing and stabbing. There you go. But again, the cow's ears won't be the same shape, so it doesn't really matter. Yep. Okay, I'm going to decide which is the top and which is the bottom. Now, so that's that ear, that's that ear. I'm going to push that up a little bit. And then pop that. So this is the point I have to pay attention. No luck involved, just stabbing. This will be a kit in my shop as soon as I've finished this video. Not quite as soon as I finish this video. I'll finish this video tonight, and then hopefully be able to get in and get the kit all photographed and ready, and it will be on the website. I would love to say tomorrow, but give me a couple of days to get the kit together, and it will be a kit. And I think it is going to be called Pumpkin the cow. Yes, thank you guys. I'm so bad at the like, comment and subscribe thing, but I really do appreciate it, and it really does help the old algorithm. Okay, so we've got two ears. They're slightly wonky. They're differently shaped, but that does not matter at all. Do not panic. I'm going to attach them. So we've left this loose for a reason, because that's how we're going to attach it to the head. So my ears are going to go just kind of in line with the eyes. You look so wonky. I love it. In line with the eyes there. So you can see how at the back we're going to start stabbing in all this loose fluffy stuff. And same again on this side. So before I thoroughly felt it in, I'm going to check my ear position. Yep. And just at the back. Holding the ear where I want it to go, stabbing at the back. And again, holding the ear where I want it to be, stabbing at the back. Now don't worry, this colour looks different from the rest. We are going to cover the whole head in this at the end. And you've still got time to adjust your ears if they're not quite in the right place. And if they are completely wrong and you're not happy with them, you can at this stage just pull them off and reapply. That is the joy of early needle felting. Because I am going to get you at the end to go over everything. Well, go over everything on the head and all the base as well. Just stabbing to secure everything in. Okay, we have two adorable ears. Oh, that's a little bit further back than I want it, so I'm going to move it forward. Because their ears, they're just big and floppy and wonderful. Okay, yeah, the horns. Can you tell I've been putting off doing the horns? No, the horns are fine. No one needs to panic. Okay, So before I do the horns, because the horns are white, or cream in this case, we want to try and keep it clean. And you see how there's black all over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over my mat, make sure it's relatively clean, and start on a fresh little bit there. Although this mat we did use in the felting class yesterday, so I can see little bits of blue all over it. And again, we're going to try and get 2 even amounts of the cream, and we're going to do the horns. I'm going to take, can you guess what's going to happen? We're going to fold it in half. We're going to leave the fluffy end fluffy, because that's what we're going to attach it with. And I'm going to stab this, but this time I'm working round in a circle. So I'm kind of twisting it as I go, because we do want these horns to be quite firm. What are we at for time? Oh no, we're going to run over. Peanut may arrive back at any time. Leaving your fluffy end floppy. Right, give me 1 second. I'm going to text my babysitter. Okay, babysitter is texted. So after the first pass, I've left some out, and I'm going to wrap this around reasonably tight, just that top bit, and stab, stab, stab again. Now you can make your horns as big or as little as you like, and you can shape them just by stabbing. Oh, so you saw there was lots of little, let's redo that. There's lots of little fluffy bits sitting out there. So I just do I stab myself more when working with light colours? I don't know. I have not studied it. I've never paid attention. And you see this end is nice and pointy, because when we wrapped it round, and it just naturally does that, which is quite handy. There we go. That is going to be horn number 1. Now we're going to do the same again for the other horn. So splitting it in half, starting, so split it in half, fold it in half, and stab in the round. Yeah, with 2D stuff, so flat pictures, I'm relatively good about not stabbing myself anymore. I kind of keep my hand out the way. And one of the ladies on my course yesterday, she was a genius. She was doing a flat picture, and she'd lay down the colour. She'd use one needle to hold it in place and the other needle to stab it. And I was like, oh, that's genius. Why am I not doing that right now? I have questions. And and yeah, she was very good about not stabbing herself. Yeah, I just find finger guards mean that, so the only time I've really stabbed myself deeply was when I was wearing the finger guards, because I was being more confident and laissez-faire about the whole situation, and I was quite deep in. So yes, that's why I don't wear finger guards, because I have to be more cautious of where my fingers are and what they're doing. And I feel like I have more control. This again is when I'm going to stab myself. Guys, let's stop talking about stabbing. I want to read your comments, but also I'm looking down frantically at my fingers. Oh yeah, yesterday's class came up with some really good ideas. Oh, I forgot to also say, thank you for subscribing for a while, Penguin. Yeah, there was one. This is why I'm doing the Highland cow today, actually, because one gentleman, they were doing the Highland flock, so it's a flock of sheep. He had some brown and did a wee Highland cow in his little landscape, and it looked excellent. So I'm like, oh, you know, I need to do a Highland cow. I'm going to just try and put a little extra on that end, because it's a little bit shorter at this end. But again, so Highland cow's horns are not perfectly symmetrical. So your horns do not have to be perfectly symmetrical. One will be different, bigger than the other. Oh, I can hear a peanut at the door. Oh no. I should probably go and let them in, because we've definitely run over time today. There we go, we've got two symmetrical-ish horns, although we are super close to being finished. I'm going to place them, so with the fluffy end, you might need to be fluffed out a little bit. We're going to place your fluffy ends together. I'm going to go over the top, kind of in line with the ears, and you can decide now how big or how small you want them to be. I think that might be a little bit big, so I'm going to take them down to about there. That seems like a good size, and you can as well. So I don't want to cut it too short, but I can definitely cut off a bit extra there. And the same again. It's better to, so as I say, it's always better to have a little extra that you can cut off than for it to be too short and you wish it was longer. Let's see, are they looking even? If that one goes down a bit, I would say so. And you can shape the horns a little bit. It won't be permanent, but you can add a little bit of shaping. Stab, stab, stab the horns in so they're nice and secure. And then we've got one last thing to do. We have horns, we have nose, we have ears. Can you see the horns? Look at her little face. Oh, I think I want that horn to be further forward. Get down. There we go. That's better. She's wonky, but I love her. We are going to attach her head onto there and give her her fringe, and then we're done. So I'll start with fringe, and I will have to make a swift exit, because there is a sad peanut waiting for me outside as soon as we're finished. So again, I'm taking a little bit of the carded wool, folding it in half, placing it over the horn so it's covering up the base of the horn, and just over the back a little bit. And I'm going to stab it down to just about eye level, but I want to leave this bit loose, and you can decide how you're gonna style that little bit. It's so cute. And then I'm taking another bit more of the fluff. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take the fluff. We're going to decide where is the front of your body. So I'm going to go with, this is going to be my front. You're going to place your head where, so she is sitting, let's see, further forward, but not right there on the top. And let's see if I can do this. Yep. So you can use one needle to stab it in and see if you like the placement. So you can see it's kind of sitting at the top front. I'm happy with that. I'm going to take this stuff and I'm going to fill around her neck. And I'm going to take my other needle, and careful not to hit this needle, but stab from her head through into her body. And at the bottom as well. So stabbing in that little bit of fluff I just added. Ooh. Now you would do this for a lot longer, but let's take it off and see. Ah, look at that. I want to shorten her fringe just ever so slightly. Isn't she adorable? I'm going to spend a wee bit more time stabbing her head on. That sounds violent. And building up like a really good join between the head and the body. Lots of that nice coloured fluff to make sure it's all joined in. How cute is she? Oh my god, my workspace is a mess, but I do not care. I'm just staring at them now. This one's a little bit flatter, but we can squish that. There we go. Can squish her up a little bit. That's better. Look at them. And they sit, or this one sits quite nicely because I worked on the base. So I need to stab. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. Oh, definitely. Put a bauble through there. Put a string through there. And then it is a Christmas ball. What? Did you hear the little peanut outside? Okay, right. Parting thoughts. Spend a little bit of time stabbing its bottom. We want the bottom to be firm and flat. So like this, just going over and over again. Making sure that she sits nicely and doesn't fall over. Spend a bit of time going round and joining her head. So just stabbing through from the head into the base. And the more you do that, the firmer it'll get in. If she's starting to look a little bit flat, you can roll her in your hands or do some stabbing this way. And you can also pin down that fringe a little bit. Oh, my ear is gone. But there we have it. Let's just see that eye. There we go. Look at her. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been... Oh, let's bring that other eye out. We want to see that eye. It has been absolutely wonderful fun. Thank you, my squishies. Leave a comment below. Thank you, Robin. Like, subscribe. Go over and see Robin's Highland cows. Hers are amazing. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Have a lovely night. Thank you, my squishies.